Welcome to another episode of Taboo Talk, featuring your very own pastor, me, Lady Charmaine Day. Today's show is guaranteed to be full of sensitive, intimate, natural conversations rarely talked about in the spiritual community. Are you ready? Great, let's begin. I am going to tell you something I haven't said before. We are in for a treat. I have Earl Christian III. He is the CEO of Urban Wall Street Incorporated. He's an international influencer. He's an HBCU advocate, and he's a professor and so much more. Help me by helping you welcome this living legend, Earl Christian III.
Lady Charmaine, how are you, my dear? Thank you for having me back on the show. It's a pleasure and an honor. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored because you're here.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing.
Earl, you know what? So many people know you, but they don't know your story. And I thought this would be a great opportunity for you to share how you evolved into Urban Wall Street Earl.
How I evolved into Urban Wall Street Earl? Well, the beginning, of course, just my understanding enlightenment began at age 18 when my mother made sure I went to HBCU, which is Howard University, which I'm an alum of. And, I graduated and did my thing out to California and, just experienced life in my early 20s. And then I came back, so, I got to get serious. Okay, let's get serious. Got back to New York. And I knew I didn't want to work for anyone. Now, I knew I had to start. You got to have a job to build. So right. I did work, I did education. And so I was always educating. I was teaching GED, adult-based education. So I was always been in like an educational space, just, I come from a family of educators, but not a teacher, but still an educator, right? Mm-hmm. And so as I evolved, I'm an entrepreneurial in spirit. At Howard, I had an entrepreneur, I had a barbershop. So I've always been an entrepreneur. And so how Urban Wall Street came about, I was an admissions counselor for after school program. And I really just wanted to, honor the Black Wall Street. That's what inspired Urban Wall Street, my company, the Black Wall Street of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And so in the early days, I had Resurrection of the Black Wall Street, the Rebirth of the Black Wall Street, and then the artists. And it was a whole component I put together with economic initiatives. It was really about, economic empowerment, what the Black Wall Street was. But then the artist, the rapper came out, he was the Black Wall Street. And so that, okay, I'm gonna have to pivot because I know it's not gonna be the same situation. And so, but I just kept tweaking. And then I came up with Urban Wall Street. And the gentleman at the time, who was another Howard graduate who helped me get incorporated, he said, let me look at that. That sounds good. And then he looked it up and it was available. So we got it done, got it trademarked. And then I was happy about it because then I started to realize as it grows, I'd much rather be called Urban Wall Street than Black Wall Street, even though Black Wall Street is historic and monumental. I didn't want, as we evolved into this millennial, to it seem like my company was just a Black company. It's a Black-owned company, but it's urban. It's everybody. Because if you live in New York City like myself, I don't care if you live in Tribeca or you live in down in Battery Park. You're urban American. That's not the suburbs. White, Jewish. You're urban. So I represent everybody in the community. So I just started evolving it. That's what it became. And then I just launched the show, the Urban Wall Street Project, and we launched that through BronxNet. And it started evolving. It was a talk show, and I was just talking about different issues that affected our community. Financial literacy, meaning the main one, once I learned about it. And then it just started evolving, and it really became just empower our people and really represent and pay homage to the ancestors of the Black Wall Street, what that meant. And here we are today. So, we're 15 years later with films and youth programs and apparel, as you see, and just really living life on my own terms. It's not always easy, but most people that I get up sometimes hate getting up to go to work is not easy. So it's all right for me. It's been working well, and I've weathered the storm after 15 years and we're still here.
All right. Now, you know what? Most people can't weather this storm for 15 years, and a lot of businesses went under. What's your secret for staying alive?
I love what I do because I'm passionate about what I do. See, for me, Urban Wall Street is the name of the company. I miss Urban Wall Street. So I am the brand. So it's almost like there's no Urban Wall Street without me, which now let me break that down. Of course, if something happened to me, I've created a legacy that can continue, but I represent the brand. It's not like a team, it's me, right? I have my partner, Alan, but I'm me because I see the vision. So I'm literally just living the life that I want. I'm 24 hours a day. I only have to think about urban Wall Street. I'd have to think, okay, when I finish with my employer once, or when I get on my, I have 24 hours a day. But I also know, like, what's the alternative to not doing what you want to do with your life? Doing what someone else wants you to do with your life. So that for me is just not an option I like. So I just stay focused. But most importantly is having passion. And if you do what you love to do, you don't feel like you're working. Lady Charmaine, I go to sleep only because I know my body needs it. I'm always excited to get up and start working at 5. And you see it, everybody that follows me, I'm just cranking. I'm just excited because I'm driven by excellence. I'm not driven by the mathematics of money. We need money, it's necessary. But my joy is in the process and the product. Whatever comes after that is just icing. But going from nothing to creating something, that's a blessing.
Yes. And your company was rewarded recently by being featured in Vogue. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So in 2019, July 2019, I had stepped into the shoe industry and launched Urban Wall Street Footwear, which is a custom line of premium Italian shoes. And opportunity came again, and I saw it as another vehicle to add to the brand. That's why I was about apparel. And now since I have apparel, why not shoes? And it wasn't going to cost me anything except for time, creativity, and energy. And that's the most important thing I can say to your audience. It's not about money, it's time. That's what you have to have. So I put the time in. We launched a shoe, which was the Mecca 1867. My first shoe. I needed to get 7 pre-orders. Some of my Howard brothers, they came to support, a couple of my sisters, and they bought the shoe, and the shoe went onto the market permanently. And then about maybe 2 months later, I got a email from Italy, and the company let me know that my shoe had been selected to be featured in Vogue, which was really great. And then so that was the first shoe. And then in 2020 during the pandemic, my second shoe that I have released, which was the 1908, which is a pink and green ode to the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. That shoe was just featured in Milan's Fashion Week runway show 2020, and that's not a top selling shoe. So yeah, so we're really, like, when you said influence, I wasn't thinking about it because I'm doing so much, I mean, but yeah, a lot of different things are happening, not just here in America. I have things happening in other parts of the world as well. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Well, now it's time for me to pick your brain and get all the jewels and wisdom that I can get from you. Because Urban Wall Street, Earl, you are the epitome of mind, body, and spirit wellness. Not only do you take care of your mind, not only do you take care of your spirit, but you're also a brand ambassador for body working out. So please talk to us about how to be in shape, wherever you want to go. I'm ready to listen.
Well, first and most importantly, that health is wealth, right? So most people, and I understandably are, seeking money. Most people, I gotta make money. And we feel like we don't have enough time or whatever excuse we make. But for me, I don't want to have a whole lot of money, but then I'm not healthy. Like, money is great. I want to be wealthy. I want to have money to go and do things and nice things, but I want to be able to go and not have to be sitting down with an air mask, or I have asthma. I can't, because I'm not healthy. I'm overweight. I'm heavy. So I'm not like, I don't sit here and I never shame anybody. Like, because, you never know nobody's situations. But I tell everybody, you can work out. A lot of people think you have to go to the gym. I will tell your audience right now, 10 minutes a day. If you can do 10 minutes a day, 4 days a week, 50 push-ups in the morning, 50 push-ups in the evening, 50 sit-ups, and I can't do 50 sit-ups. Can you do 10 at 9 o'clock, 10 at 12 o'clock, 10 at 3 o'clock? Now, you might have to work, okay, but listen, it's all about sacrifice. I see many people in the bathroom taking selfie pictures. Go in the bathroom and do some push-ups right quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, something. But it's all about what you want. You know what I'm saying? I like to look a certain way in my clothes. If you're going to be in front of people, you have to look a certain way. But health is wealth. So the most important thing is health. And I just like to feel good. I like to be able to get up and go. And for me to be able to do the things that I want to do, Lady Charmaine, I need to be in shape. I need to have that energy. So that's another thing. A lot of times we can't accomplish certain things because we're tired. If you work, sometimes you have dreams and ambitions, but you have to have a 9 to 5. I've had one, right? But after my 9 to 5, I would put in another 8 hours on myself. My ambition. So people need to realize, if you work from 9 to 5, I'm tired, I got kids, I understand that. But you're going to still have to carve out a way to find out and focus on your passion. Because Because if you don't have passion, it's not going to work. And I will tell you, no matter what it is that you are passionate about, you can generate revenue from it. It may take some time, it may not put you, but there's always a way to make it happen with your passion. Now, that's the number one thing, Charmaine, passion.
Wow. I love that. And you also said your health is your wealth.
Yes.
I'm telling you, that's incredible because people don't realize how much your body means to you until it's gone.
I was talking to my mother when she and I have conversations, and I was saying, and other people too, I said, you have to think about it. When I think about my body, like sometimes I get up, I don't want to work out every day, and I don't exercise every day. And I'm not, no, but I'm happy at 53, right? But I said, well, I probably lost my train of thought, but I said, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought, Lady Charmaine.
That's okay. You were talking to your mom.
I was talking to my mom, and we were talking about, because you had said something, we were talking about
your body.
Oh, the body, thank you. And I said, Mom, this is why I exercise, because my mother said that I exercise. I said, think about it like this, as a machine. Think about your car. Mm-hmm. Your body is a machine. My body's a machine, right? It has 9 operating systems, or a little bit more. Yeah, 9. These systems have been functioning for 24 hours a day for 52 and a half years straight, nonstop. When I'm asleep, my body's working. Your body is also, so this machine never stops. So this is a 50-year-old mechanism that's been going for 50 years. That's 5 decades. You got to take care of that. You got to get your car checked. You got to get your car serviced every 3,000 miles, which might be a year or 2 years, right? So when do you service your body?
All right.
I see people take better care of their car than their body.
Amen.
How is that?
I don't know.
But you see it.
I see it. Okay. Well, that definitely was a jewel that you dropped and picked up very well. Talk to us about your mind. Your mind.
My mind. My mind is my greatest asset. My mind is my greatest asset. And then second is my time. All right? And the reason my mind first, because I need my mind to be on point so I know what to do with my time. So if I got time, but my mind ain't right, I'm going to be stuck. But as long as my mind is right, I know how to execute and maximize my time. Going to Howard University really opened my mind. And my mom, just encouraging me to just, be a positive, strong, knowledgeable Black man, education, no knowledge of self, so, and she made sure I went to HBCU so I could find out who I was. And I'll be honest, I come from a conscious family, but as a child, you don't always listen. I thought Malcolm X was a bad guy when I got to Howard, based upon the educational system, right? I learned quickly that he was not. And so once I learned that a lot of what I had been taught or educated under by the school systems here, history, social, once I learned the truth, going through an HBCU and getting enlightened, there's just no way I could just continue to co-sign with just the basic. So for me, it's always been a constant evolution for my brain. I want to just be thorough. My mother used to tell me, the child, it's better to be thought a fool and remain quiet than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. So for me, I'm not going to speak unless I know what I'm saying is actual and factual, is going to make sense. I'm never going to have a conversation and say, oh, that doesn't really make sense. Oh, I don't think, no, that's not going to be the case. Now you might not even want to have to agree, but man, that's true. You might not want to hear it, but you're going to recognize and accept and acknowledge it is truth. So my mind is the greatest muscle I have. And I exercise it every moment, not every day, every moment.
All right. Let's talk about the spirit for a second, because if you don't have your spirit, you're dead. So what do you do to nurture your spirit in your body?
Well, to nurture my spirit, I'm going to say I had some help and some early preparation, unbeknownst to myself. My grandmother, Reverend Thelma Lee Holmes, rest in peace, was a ordained reverend in Brooklyn, New York. And in my youth, adolescence, she converted the first floor of her home to a church, literally. So when I say I lived in church, people say I lived in church as a kid. You say that figuratively, like I was at church all the time. No, when I say I lived in church, I lived in the building. The church was on the first floor, our apartment was on the third floor. So all I had to do was come downstairs, right, to go to
Yes.
Sunday school, all that. But one of the things that I said, I said, unbeknownst to myself, my dad used to be in the military, and we used to travel. We used to do a lot of different things or go out. And my mother told me that my grandma used to say that whenever we would return from somewhere, she'd be having her Bible study lessons with her, her friends, the lady friends, and all that. And she said I would just come and sprawl out into the circle, right into their circle, and just spread my arms out and just close my eyes. And she's like, Debbie, Early's soaking up all the blessings. So I don't remember this lady, Charmaine. So I'm going to have to tell you, my theory is that the Lord knew what I was going to face as a Black man evolving in this world and the things I dealt with as a child. And he just put me in the space. You go get those blessings. And I truly believe those blessings are what has kept my spirit solid and intact, because I look at some of the things I've come from, I look at what I'm doing, and then you say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right? I know what my plan for my life was at 30. That's not what I'm doing now. But what I'm doing now is far greater for myself and the culture than what I wanted to do for myself by 30.
Nice.
So my spirit, because I focus on my spirit and I don't deny myself, and I'm not swayed by public opinion. If 1 million people think it's blue, but I know it's red, then I'll just be standing by myself while all 1 million people go over to the blue. I don't have a problem with that. I have no problem standing on my own. I don't need a cosigner. And unfortunately, a lot of people need that. And it's important, and you do need it, but I need that sometimes too, but I can stand alone a lot. So I think you have to be able to find that inner strength, because sometimes when it's not going to come from outside, you still got to be able to dig down and get it done.
Yes, that's the truth. Well, for those people listening who want to be entrepreneurs but don't know how to start, how to begin, what do you say to that person who's looking at you and say, I want to be like Urban Wall Street. Help me get there, Urban Wall Street, Earl.
First thing I would say is, well, what do you want to do? What you want to be an entrepreneur. What is your passion, right? Your entrepreneurialism. My passion is production, creativity. You were part of my media arts workshop, right? Creativity, that's my passion. So it doesn't feel like work. So I create opportunities that's going to foster and lend to that. So I have working with young kids. I know that I work with kids, but I'm a production person, I'm a visualist. Kids like the cameras and all that. So I married the two. So now I teach kids how to create films and do production. That's what I went to school for. Kids love it. That doesn't feel like work to me. And it's very rewarding, not just monetarily, but spiritually. That's the reward. So working with God's children, that keeps my spirit intact.
Nice. Earl, for those people who say, you seem like you got it all together, what do I need to do to be like you? Give me some steps to evolve, learn how to evolve?
Well, if I say, well, this is what you need to be like me, that's kind of a double-edged sword, because I don't know what you're like now. How do I know you're not like me, right? I don't know. So when you listen to myself, or you follow my brand, you look and see what parallels. So I'm similar to him like that, or I'm similar, and see if there's areas that I excel in, that you recognize that you have the same passion, or you excel in those areas, and then you take it upon yourself. Or get you to decide, what do you want to do? Like for example, Lady Charmaine, you're a prime example. You had a show, you were doing your podcast, and you were doing graphics, but you wanted your graphics to improve. So what did you do? You came to my workshop, right? And then I gave you the basics, taught you what it is, and then now you have to take the basic, but as a teacher, I can't give it all to you all. Now I give you homework assignments. You have to now bring it back. So you have to be willing to challenge yourself. Most of us aren't willing to challenge yourself, and you have to be willing to fail. If you want to be like Urban Wall Street, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be cool with failing. You have to know you're going to fail. You have to also determine at the very beginning, no matter how many times I fail, that's only going to determine the greater of my success.
Deep. Okay. For those brothers out there who have a lot of time on their hands, but they're not doing anything with it, what do you recommend to those brothers?
Get busy. What are you doing? No, for real. That's a question. Ask yourself, what am I doing? There's 24 hours in a day. Everybody has, oh, this person making so much money, oh, they winning. Well, why are they winning? They don't have 28 hours and you have 24. They don't have 3 sons. They don't have extra oxygen lungs to gain more oxygen so they can be, they can go longer. What is it? What do you want? And what are you willing to do to get it? Sacrifice, compromise, commitment, consistency, perseverance. Do you possess those character traits? If you do, then you're in a good position. But if you don't possess them, you have to be honest with yourself and then figure out, what do I need to do to elevate myself to get to, to enhance those character traits so I can become. It's not easy, but it's possible. But if you're not willing to put the work in, it's not going to work. It's like anything else. If you want to have a successful marriage, but you're an infidel, you probably won't have a successful marriage. If you want to get a paycheck, I hope I get this job. I hope I get this job, but you don't go look for the job. No, I hope I pass this test. Did you study? No, you probably won't. You know what I'm saying? So if you want something, what are you willing to do to ensure that it manifests? And you don't know it. And the problem is you don't know if it's going to manifest or not. That's where faith comes in. Again, coming back to the spirit. You gotta have faith in yourself, not other people. Because other people might not believe in your dream. They might not encourage you. They might admonish you or discourage you. You gotta brush that dirt off your shoulders, like Jay-Z used to say in one of them rap records, and keep it doing.
I know that's right. I know that's right. For that sister out there who's in a relationship and it's not positive, what do you say to them about getting themselves together and moving on?
I'm going to say, wow, I guess I can say the same thing. What do you really want? So you're here, right? Because I like to ask people questions like, almost like Denzel's in Philadelphia. Explain to me like I'm a 6-year-old. So you're in this situation with this individual. You love him, yeah. So what is love? First, what is love to you? Because I need to know words. I love him. He loves me. Okay, I need to know, what's your definition of love? Because if you think love is getting punched upside your forehead, because that's all you've known, it might be hard for me to convince you that actually getting kissed on your forehead is love. You have to decide what you want. You know what I'm saying? What matters to you, what's important. What you're willing to deal with. A lot of people are really just kind of go with things because the status quo is convenient. Convenience for me is excellence. I don't want to ever be in a situation where there's violent, physical or verbal, and a lot of women deal with it. So I would say, listen, if you're dealing with someone that's not treating you the way you believe you should be treated, you feel you should be treated, then get out of it. If you have brothers, uncles, cousins, hey, if you don't know how you need to be treated, watch TV. Watch some old episodes of the Cosby Show. Bill Cosby treated Claire Huxtable. That was pretty good with Bill and Claire Huxtable. I don't know. I don't really like to get into relationships, because some people just can't walk away. I can walk away easily, Lady Charmaine. But what I will say, if you're dealing with man is male or female, if you're in a relationship with someone, make sure it's right. Don't waste time. So many people put time, I just want to stay for the kids, and I want to stay. And all those might be noble. Those might be noble, but you have to recognize, are you going to be able to live with your nobility?
Well, okay.
I mean, I'm just saying. I don't have all the answers.
You said something that's really powerful. I tell you the truth. Okay. For those people who are saying we've been in COVID for a very long time, now, what is the new norm? How do we get back to, or what is the new norm like, in your opinion? And how can we be successful in the new norm?
The new norm. The new norm is opposite of everything you remember. So whatever you remember, in my opinion, I'm speaking for me, I'm not remotely expecting what December 2019, what the world was December 2019, I'm never expecting that. First of all, the world was never normal. The world ain't been normal since, so I don't know what the new normal is. I know what the new is, right?
Yeah.
But as far as the new normal societally, definitely you're gonna have to know how to pivot. In 2020, was a devastating year for me. I lost my dad. I worked in schools. I lost my dad to this COVID. I worked in the schools. That ended immediately because schools were shut down. My bike got stolen day before I lost my dad. Like, I lost everything, but even amidst loss, you gotta be like Job. You're gonna lose it all. But the greatest thing I lost, of course, that I can't replace is my dad. Everything else can be replaced, and you just have to just just keep going and think about it. I think a lot of the driving force right now is, I think about my dad. His spirit. I talked to him in that guides, and even I always had it before, but now it's even more. I definitely want to, really, really honor his name. And, so you just got to believe in something. If you're not doing it for yourself, you do it for something, but don't do it for money. If you're not doing it for yourself, do it for your children. But the one thing I will suggest to everybody trying to get there, don't do anything for the money. Do it because you love it, because you're passionate about it. But do it whether you was getting paid or not. Because if you're doing something for the money, the gratification that you seek is never going to manifest. You might make money. There's a lot of rich people that's unhappy. I once heard somebody say, all poor people have is money.
Wow.
And that might be deep for some people. It might go over your head. But I know a lot of rich folks, there's a lot of people with millions of dollars, big homes, and they're the only person living in it.
And they're unhappy.
And they're not happy.
See,
the money can buy you a nice big bed that can keep you warm, but the bed won't keep you warm.
Wow.
You need a body there. You don't necessarily need money for that if you're a good person.
That's right. Earl, can I get your final thoughts?
Sure. On?
Whatever you wanted to share with me on mind, body, wellness.
So mind, body, wellness. So my final thought I'm gonna plug. So this is my mind, body, and thought. This is what I want to do for our minds, my thoughts in our minds. So my latest thoughts have been, how can I help empower HBCUs, right? HBCUs are in the minds of a lot of young people right now. So I have new projects, new envelopes. I just created the HBCU chunk. So it's my spirit, my mind, and my body. I'm taking my mind and creating a concept, creating a product that pays homage to the HBCUs, the 107 institutions that have created and perpetuated Black excellence for well over 150 years. And I've created actually shoes, a chunk that represents each of the 107, a high top and low top. And from the sales of that, I want to create individual endowment funds for these HBCUs. Let me tell you something, there's 107 HBCUs, right? And of all those HBCUs, I'm pretty confident when I look at it, all of our endowments combined don't measure up to the endowment of just NYU alone. So that means all the HBCUs combined are worth less than NYU, that one school. We ain't gonna talk about that one PWI. So I'm really on and my final thought is, people, think about what we need to do as Black people in a country that has not really been doing for us. What do we need to do when we recognize that the opportunities that we deserve, that we created, that have manifested from us, are not benefiting us? What do we need to do? And for me, it's education. And I can't educate the 40-year-old, the 50-year-olds I can, but I got to get the new sponges. We have to train up a child, right? So I need to get to the young, get to the HBCU, get to those young souls, and get their minds thinking, cooperative economics, give back, stop going out. Final thought, what's important to Black people? Do you really love yourself? Do Black people really love Black people? Because if we really love each other the way we do, we the kings and queens, where's our kingdoms? We love each other. Where's the kingdom that we're helping each other build? Because I'm gonna keep it 100. I feel like Urban Wall Street is the kingdom I'm building, but where are the kingdom? Kings and queens rule kingdoms. They rule the land. They set the rules, and people bow down to them. I don't see us in any of those capacities as a people in this nation or in this world. So we got a lot to do. I don't just put words out there. If I want to be a king and queen, I want to tout that. We have to walk that. We have to live that. We have to breathe that. And if we're going to breathe and talk and tout kings and queens, well, let's start building some kingdoms. That's my final thought.
Well, I told you he was going to bring the fire. All right. Earl, can you please share with us your URLs and ways that we can reach you?
Yes, you can find me, of course, all over social media at Urban Wall Street, is on LinkedIn, Instagram. Facebook is over flooded, so I can't have any more friends on there. But I'm Earl Christian III. But the most important, you can find all of my endeavors, all of the products, films, fashion, footwear, all that at the UWS Time Collection store. That's essentially my online mall. Have well over 14 different stores in there: shoes, apparel, women's clothes, kids clothes, everything. So my films are there. So that's the overall network of all things Urban Wall Street that you can purchase, consume, represent the culture, walk in your foundation, and just be Black excellence.
All right.
UWSTimeCollection.com.
Say that again one more time.
UWSTimeCollection.com. See this
All right.
tracksuit? You want something nice like that? Go to UWSTimeCollection.com.
All right. Earl, thank you so much for coming on the show. You were dynamite. You were phenomenal. You really uplifted everyone who's watching. And I just want to thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Lady Charmaine.
And Earl, I wanted to tell you thank you. It's because of you that I'm able to do Taboo Talk podcast, because of the class that I came to that you taught me.
Well,
so thank you.
And that's a blessing. And that's what to be able to hear that. I'm looking at it because before when I did it was just a podcast, it was audio. Now we got the visual. So I love to see the elevation and the growth of my students. It's a beautiful thing. So yes, excellent.
I just want to thank my teacher. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. You're very welcome.
Is there anything else you would like to say before we end the show?
No, everybody just stay blessed. Stay positive, stay optimistic. We're on the other side of this pandemic. It's still going to be crazy. Things are going to be, it's going to be what it is. But just stay diligent, stay vigilant, and keep God first.
Thank you. All right. Well, we have come to the end of this show. This show was done because you are so important. Earl took time out of his busy schedule to try and uplift, motivate, and encourage you because you are special and you deserve nothing less than the very best. Continue to seek God's face in all that you do, and a wonderful life will occur for you. Taboo Talk podcast featuring me, Lady Charmaine Day, will continue to be on to share with you subject matter experts like Earl, who have a word in season to help you, to uplift you, and to guide you. And the one thing I wanted to say to you is when you have the opportunity, please visit my store, www.ladycharmaineday.com, and buy my autograph set of 3 books where you can find out about my story, and then there are my wisdom points as well. This keeps the ministry going, and I thank you in advance for making your purchase. You are beloved, you are welcomed, you are prayed for, you are wanted by me and by the people who come on this show. So thank you for all that you do. You make God look great. Well, until next time, take care of yourself. Goodbye.
All right. Take care.